Hello ladies and gents, welcome to my channel. This video is about to be a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you how to read tarot cards. This ain't going to be long-winded, this ain't going to be dragged out. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Trixie. You understand what I'm saying? Thanks for tuning into my channel. The first thing I'm going to say is that the moment you decide to start a platform reading tarot cards, just know that everybody may not approve, but don't get discouraged. You understand what I'm saying? One of the things I would highly recommend is that you pick a deck you feel comfortable with, that you're familiar with, will get familiar with, and just know that every tarot deck doesn't come with a book. So I'm gonna give an example, right? Let's say you get a tarot deck from like Wish or Toomey. They're gonna want you to scan this barcode in the back. So you see the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards in order to get a book. When you get a deck from like the Botanica or Amazon, the deck looks like this. You understand what I'm saying? The name of that deck is the Crystal Power Tarot, but when you open it, the cards, it comes with a book. You understand what I'm saying? So just know, that's one of the things you really do need to know, along with the fact that everybody may not approve. Another thing I would recommend is that if you are around a highly religious family that don't like tarot cards, that sit up there and say tarot cards are divination and deemed it as witchcraft, I would say, number one, please go look up the history of tarot cards. I did a video on that because I had to learn as a tarot card reader that where they started from and what century did mankind started saying tarot cards are divination. Because you got to remember something. It takes mankind of an influence of somebody to start a rumor about something. You understand what I'm saying? You may want to check that video out along with going to Wikipedia, which is a very strong, good reference to use, and doing research and history. So that way you have backup to show that you are not dealing with divination. You are not doing witchcraft. So if you're around people that don't like tarot cards, you could use regular playing cards. And what you could do is you could use regular playing cards and read them as tarot cards. The Queen of Hearts would be the Queen of Cups. You understand what I'm saying? The King of Spades would be the King of Swords. This is called katamatsi when you start using regular playing cards and reading them as tarot cards. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm going to recommend to you that no matter what deck of tarot cards that you get, you still should use your own interpretation of the cards even after you read the book. Spend time with it. You understand what I'm saying? Don't just read the book and then you program yourself like a robot to be like, well, this particular deck, this card mean that. You're supposed to gain your own intuition and interpretation as you grow more comfortably reading cards. The five of hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now, because diamonds in a regular playing deck is pentacles. So I'm still dealing with playing cards for actually getting these tarot cards, because it's very hard for people to accept the fact that you may want to start a YouTube channel, you may want to start your own business, you know, reading energy, and the first thing that's going to come out of people's mouth is that, oh, you opening up portals and that's demonic. And that's why I said, please go check out my video about the history of tarot cards. I had to do that video because you understand what I'm saying? When you have authentic proof and reliable reportive resources to back up that you are not dealing in such things, it's going to help you a lot better. Will it change the mind of others? No. But it's good for you to have. You understand what I'm saying? Because most people that start doing this don't do the research. I was one of them. When I started my YouTube channel, I did not do research. But regular playing cards can be used if you can't afford a deck, if times is hard, if you don't have no support. You could use regular playing cards as a deck of tarot cards. So once again, hearts is cups, spades is swords, diamonds is pentacles, and clubs is wands. You understand what I'm saying? The only thing is that dealing with playing cards, you could write on them. You understand what I'm saying? You just don't have the major arcanas like the Magician, the Hermit, the Hierophant, the Tower, and things like that. So for some of you out here, you can start with regular playing cards until you get an official tarot deck. When you get the tarot deck, I would highly recommend that, you spend time. The Magician card will look like this. And each tarot deck has a different art. Like there's a different artist that designed the deck. You understand what I'm saying? But you are recommended to like take your time. Some of you may start out with the Rider-Waite tarot deck. So there's major arcanas and then there's the 4 suits. You understand what I'm saying? I would say to you to get comfortable, play around with it. You understand what I'm saying? I will always say this, and I tell anybody, if you decide you want to read energy, you decide you get into tarot cards, number one, never do nothing demonic. Never. You should always praise God. And if you know you're around people that's not going to support you, then you may want to just do what you need to do, because you got a lot of people that are ignorant. People won't accept the truth, and the truth could be dead in their face. You understand what I'm saying? But when you get your cards, spend time with them. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like this deck I got, the Crystal Power Tarot, the Queen of Swords. Each card got a crystal in the corner. So every deck of tarot cards you are interested in or you may want to purchase is going to be different. You understand what I'm saying? So just know that you would have to spend time. Take your time and get to learn the cards. One of the things is that this particular deck has no reverses. Reverses mean like when the card come out upside down, it would have a reverse meaning. So this is the upright. This deck don't have no reverses, but when the card is like this, you're going to see it in the booklet, reverse. Definitely get to know whether or not, if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable reading reverses, that's fine. You don't have to. But I would highly recommend that, don't just be closed off to it. Like, take your time. Learning to read tarot cards is a at your own pace type of thing. So don't feel upset if you're not saying the exact meaning out the book. You're supposed to read the book to be aware of certain things, but each deck and each book has its own meaning. You being the reader is supposed to get your own interpretation. So if you look at the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords may remind you of a princess warrior out of a movie, that's fine. You understand what I'm saying? But for some of you out here, you're supposed to use your own interpretation. Don't let nobody that even has been reading longer than you, because everybody's going to have their own style of reading. You understand what I'm saying? For some of you out here, as you start to get into reading energy, you understand what I'm saying? Please try to feel comfortable. Don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like there's no right and wrong in reading tarot cards. We got people reading Uno cards and anime cards. You understand what I'm saying? But I would just highly recommend to you that you feel comfortable. It's like you're going to learn different styles of reading. So you'll learn how to do a Celtic cross reading, placing the cards a certain way. Another thing you're going to learn is like, past, present, and future. You understand what I'm saying? So each tarot deck is going to give you a breakdown of how you could do a different like reading style, whatever you would feel comfortable with. I tell anybody, if you come to me and you ask me to teach you tarot card reading, the first thing I'm going to say is that, number one, I'm not a fortune teller, because nobody don't know the future but God. You understand what I'm saying? So that's another thing I'm going to recommend. Please do not start reading tarot cards thinking you're going to be able to predict the future, because what's going to happen is you're going to meet people and you're going to set yourself up for failure. That's not what reading energy is about. You understand what I'm saying? Another thing is that you want to be somebody that understand that we got tarot cards and we got oracle cards. So here, I'm going to open these up, because tarot cards is the major arcanas. So it's like the Queen of Swords, the Magician, the Ten of Wands, the Emperor. You understand what I'm saying? These are tarot cards, the Tower. When you're dealing with tarot cards, those are going to be like the normal suits that you would see in a tarot deck. With oracle cards, it's different. So they got different oracle cards. There's tarot cards and then there's oracle cards. Oracle cards is like oracle messages. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the same as tarot cards. So an oracle message could be like this: a victim. That's an oracle message. That's not a tarot card. So when you decide, for some people, they rather deal with an oracle deck first, then they go into a tarot deck. You understand what I'm saying? But you need to know the difference that tarot cards and oracle decks are two different decks. You understand what I'm saying? The same way a playing deck, those are three different decks of cards. So renewal, this will be an oracle message. For some of you out here, you are highly recommended to see what works best for you, but to gain your own interpretation. You understand what I'm saying? So oracle cards deal with, like, you know, certain messages that depending on what deck you pick up, like this is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. You understand what I'm saying? The complete spiritual toolkit for transforming your life. So there's oracle decks, there's tarot decks. You can use you can use regular playing cards, which is called Katamatsi, but you are recommend to understand that you have a choice and option, and to please take your time and pace yourself out. You understand what I'm saying? Don't feel like if you don't know it all or pressure yourself. You understand what I'm saying? That's not what reading energy is about. You're supposed to have fun with it. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, getting on a social media platform, you may want to start out with your friends. You may want to just get the feeling of, see, you know, how you feel, what's going on. Just know you're supposed to use your own intuition, use your own interpretation, and know that there's no right or wrong. There's no pressure. You understand what I'm saying? So don't feel like, you know, you got to read it this way or read it that way. Please do not do that. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to always get your own interpretation, and definitely the whole goal of starting to read energy and to get into it is like, what messages are you getting out the card? Because see, everybody that starts to read energy in a different way. There's no right and wrong. There's no, well, you don't know that. None of that. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to feel comfortable. You're supposed to understand and play around and experiment. You understand what I'm saying? Because as you start to get into this process, there is a lot that go with it. And when I mean a lot that go with it, meaning like the more you do it, practice make perfect. You understand what I'm saying? When I started reading tarot cards, I started with a Barbo Sandro deck. Okay, I don't even speak Española, but I learned what it was, and then I got into I got a Rider-Waite deck, and then I started getting different decks because they got decks for holidays. Your favorite TV show has a deck of tarot cards, so if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or the Supernatural, there are many ways that you could pick a tarot deck or oracle deck, and you can connect with it. You understand what I'm saying? But I would recommend that you read the book or you download the book, and just know that if your deck didn't come with a book, there's usually a barcode you can scan with your camera phone. You use the camera in your phone and you scan it and you click the link. And if that's not there, then you may want to kind of like make sure whatever decks you picking, you get the book. But it's supposed to be an enjoyable, comfortable experience. You should not be feeling overwhelmed or stressed out. And just know that, once again, if you're not around people, because I'm not trying to repeat myself, but if you are around highly religious, restricted people that don't like this and don't like that, playing cards is a good way to start out with if you cannot afford a tarot deck right now. You can also look online. There are many people that are sharing, you know, how to read this, how to do this. So even if you feel my video didn't give you enough information, because I'm not going to sit there and like long wind you and drag you out through 78 tarot cards. No, I'm not going to do that. Because what goes on is that some people may think that the breakdown of the 78 tarot cards that you told them is the way to read cards. And I am somebody, I love God and I'm very free spirited. I want the viewer or whoever this is that's interested in learning to read tarot cards or oracle cards to feel comfortable without feeling like, well, if I don't do it this way, I'm wrong. If I don't do it that way, I don't want nobody that's reading me or even pick me as their teacher to teach them to feel that way. I want you to feel comfortable and embrace and feel comfortable tapping into your intuition. And I will always recommend that you praise God first. And the reason why I say that is because it's good to pray first and then read energy. And the reason why I would say that is because sometimes anxiety, nervousness, all kind of things may happen, but it's no need to feel that way. It's no need to let anybody put thoughts in your head to manipulate you, to cause you controversy and self-mental conflict. I don't want that for anybody. So this is why I'm recommending and giving a simple explanation and process, so that way it's not like, oh, because I looked through at some of the people on how to read tarot cards, and I'm not judging nobody, but I was like, damn. You know who else is a good person to look at? Papa Squirrel. Papa Squirrel broke down all 78 tarot cards. I like Papa Squirrel because Papa Squirrel also admit that for some of you, if you get into tarot cards, it can become an addiction. It can become a hobby that, not, I wouldn't say an addiction, but you get fascinated with it. Just know that there are many different ways to read, and I will highly recommend that you get comfortable first and take your time, and just know that it's at your own pace. You understand what I'm saying? But one of the things I will say is, do not try to claim you know the future. Do not sit up there and try to contact no dead spirits with tarot cards or oracle cards, because now you doing a bit too much, because now you're lying. You understand what I'm saying? Do not use tarot cards thinking you a medium. That's why I tell anybody, please go to God and praise God, because for some of you out here, if you are new to this, and let's say you get good at it on your own, you might got people that will come to you. Please do not use tarot card reading to try to monetize or get over or scam anybody or play on their emotions. Don't do that. That's something I teach. If somebody was to come to me and they want me to teach them how to read tarot cards, these are one of the this are some of my ground rules I'm gonna lay down to them to let them know, because it's like when you do things like that, you're building up karma on yourself. It's like you looking to scam, you looking to rob, you're doing the wrong things, and it's like that. You know, tarot cards are not divination, it's not witchcraft, but you shouldn't be doing that, because there are some people that are, you know, they use readings to kind of cope with their life and what they're dealing with. So I'm gonna share that with you. Please do not do that to nobody, and just know that there are different cards for different situations. So here, let's say you wanted to do sexual readings, because I'm an energy reader. I do sexual readings. They got a tarot sex magic deck. You understand what I'm saying? And the deck look like this. When you open it, this is the book. There's no reverses. You understand what I'm saying? And the deck is not that graphic, but it's like that. You understand what I'm saying? So there are different decks of tarot cards and oracle cards that, depending on what it is you would like to do, if you wanted to have adult night, if you wanted to throw a little oracle or tarot card party with your friends or your family, you understand what I'm saying? There are different decks that can address the needs. They even got a Jesus Christ deck. So if you got a religious family and they told you, if you pull out cards, you can go on Amazon and look this up. They got a tarot deck made out of Psalms, a chapter out the Bible. So for those of you, if you are around people that they don't like tarot cards and oracle cards, you can still use tarot cards and oracle cards that have been made out of chapters of the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? They got a Jesus deck, a Psalms deck, or Archangel Michael deck. You understand what I'm saying? So just know that, just be open. And if you are somewhere where like they saying don't bring it in the house, the Psalms deck I recommend to anybody, because the Psalms chapters that are in the Bible is in those deck of cards. I got that deck myself and I was glad I invested into it. But just know that if you are around people that have a very strong, restrict religious base, there are tarot cards and oracle cards that can meet those needs, so that way you're not being pushed out. You understand what I'm saying? You can use those cards around them, and then when you get your own place or whatever goes on, you're able to use your regular tarot cards. But I would say please do the history to back up the fact that you are not doing divination or witchcraft, because I did the history and I had to find this out, and I was like, oh snap. You understand what I'm saying? And it is very sad in the times that we live in. People are very ignorant to the truth. People don't like the truth. And I would say, get that truth and print it out and have it for yourself, so that way you can know. You understand what I'm saying? Because not that you're not obligated to prove anything to anybody, but I would highly recommend that you be aware of this, because anything you do, you need to do research on it before you get into it. Don't just sit up there and get into something and you don't know the history of it. That's like anybody that wanted to make jewelry, spiritual candles, spiritual soaps, any of the sorts. Do history on what it is that you're doing and promoting. You understand what I'm saying? Always do the research. Where did it come from? Where did it start? Who was the first to do it? You understand what I'm saying? Another thing I'm going to recommend is, do not get into energy reading and start doing black magic or hoodoo and voodoo. Please do not do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because some of y'all, when you start getting into energy reading, you're going to meet other people that practice many of the sorts. And I would say, please don't get into that. Always love God. Go to God first and let God be your guide. You understand what I'm saying? So to everyone out there in the collective, I hope you enjoy learning how to read tarot cards. If you're interested in picking me as a teacher, or if you would like to know more information or need a little support on your journey, all my information will be down below in the description box. Thanks for tuning into my channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.